Hello, this is Barbara at Sunshine Au Pair, and I'm here today with Linda, who is a highly experienced host mom on her fourth au pair now, and she's also a moderator for the highly regarded Au Pair in the Netherlands Facebook group, as well as an advisor for the Au Pair Info website, aupairinfo.nl. So it's a highly recommended website where you can get lots of very useful information. And I mentioned that because the purpose of today's video is about advice for au pairs. So, Linda, what advice do you have to start off with?
Well, my first advice, if you are starting out your journey and you're an aspiring au pair, inform yourself fully. Every country has different rules. So if you are searching for the Netherlands, it's not the same as in Belgium or Germany. So we have made a wonderful website with all the information for the Netherlands. And it's called, and we will also put it in the description, with the program rules from the Netherlands on www.aupairinfo.nl. And that's a great resource, and it's also updated with the last rules. So if rules change, we put it out there, and there are also a lot of tips on there to start your au pair journey. We also link there to the IND website. And the IND, on that website, you can also find our government rules, and you will find all the legit Dutch agencies. Because what we see also is that au pairs are getting scammed, and that you must pay money for the au pair program or to the agency. And in the Netherlands, that is not the case. You will not pay like thousands of euros for a host family or to the agency. It's a maximum of 34 euros, and it's also stated on the website. So also look on that website if the agency who is contacting you or you are contacting an agency is on there, because then you know you do business with a legit agency. And whether you need a visa or a residence card or not, you should always be registered with an agency. That's mandatory in the Netherlands. So please avoid potentially harmful situations if a family or a so-called agent says that it's not necessary and you can do that by yourself. That's not true.
Yeah.
So that's my first advice. Inform yourself and know about all the rules for the Netherlands in this case.
Yeah, and that rule is there to help the au pairs as well, support the au pairs, protect the au pairs. It is for your own protection that you have to have an agency who is there to follow up, support you, and be a link to the IND, who are, the government body who regulate the allocation of the residence permits and visas. So according to the government rules, it is a stipulation that au pairs must be under 26 years old when the agency applies for the visa. So 18 to 25 maximum. So it isn't a rule that comes from the agencies. It isn't that host families are rejecting someone because they're older. It basically is a guide. It's a mandatory rule from the government directly that you must be 18 to 25 years old.
Yeah.
So, Linda, what should an au pair do if they're uncomfortable with something once they arrive with the host family during the year?
Well, communication and sharing is really key. And sometimes maybe you feel uncomfortable addressing something, but to stay in a situation that you don't like is way worse. So speak up and discuss it with the family. In the Netherlands, we are used to say things directly, so you can really discuss it with the family. And if you are unsure about that, contact the agency and discuss it with them how to address it. They can really help you. And I also hear a lot of myth about but the agency is only there for the host family because the host family is paying. That's not true. Agencies are there for both parties, and they have they need to look after our program that it's going to be for both parties okay. So if the family is not sticking to the rules, the agency will call the families out. So please discuss it. And if you don't want to do it with the family first, do it with the agency, but do not walk around with it and you are not experiencing a good year just because you
absolutely
hurt.
Yeah, and just be upfront about it as well. if you need to talk something through with the agency, I'm sure, our advice would always be to also approach the host family. Of course, we can do it as well, but a 3-way communication is definitely what we would aim for. So,
and also not only with uncomfortable things, also if you are insecure, if you think, oh, the host family already told me this, can I ask this again? Yes, please ask it again if you don't know it anymore. Or if you have a difficulty with host kids, like, oh, my host kid is getting mad or doesn't want to hurry up before going to school, discuss it with the family how to handle that, and don't struggle on your own.
Absolutely. Yeah, good advice, Linda. And lastly, our last piece of advice is that if you are having problems, it's important to just take time and consider the situation, take a step back, and above all, don't make any rash decisions. So, deciding to leave a host family, for example, and look for a rematch, that should really be a last resort rather than a first option. So, everyone should go into the program with the intention of staying with that family for a year. And if things are not perfect, it's to be expected. All relationships are like that. Every relationship needs to be worked on. Every relationship has bumps along the way. So just because it's not perfect, it doesn't mean that you can't get over it and solve things. And, those first 3 months especially are key. Homesickness, completely new environment, so many things going on, new role, new tasks. It takes time to adjust. So do take that time to settle in and try and work things out before you jump to any conclusions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also if you are still starting your journey and you find a host family, also think about what you want. If you think, I want to live in a big city with a host family, and the host family you found is in a small village or in the countryside, and you think, oh, I'm just going to say yes because then I have a family, it could not be successful if you are there and you are not feeling happy about the place you are. Be sure that you still want to go for that family. And if not, please say no to that family, because the family wants to rely on you and you want to rely on that family. So it's a 2-way thing. So please be sure of what you are choosing and don't settle for less.
Absolutely, yeah, because the intention, like I said, should be, can I really live with this family for a full year? Because that's what the program is in essence. So, like Linda said, it's important to make the agreement with the family you intend to stay with for the duration. So, and one thing also to remember is that if you do find yourself in a rematch situation, it's very important that you go through the proper channels. So go through the agency, do things correctly, because a host family cannot accept you as their au pair without an agency. And the consequence can be severe from the IND. So not being registered with an official host family with the IND means that actually your residence permit can be revoked. So avoid that at all costs. If a family is trying to offer you, for example, a better situation, my house is in the center of Amsterdam, come with me, but I don't want an agency. Avoid these kinds of situations, please, because you could find yourself in serious trouble. Mm-hmm. So one thing to also mention and not to forget is that if there are serious issues, very serious issues, for example, if you're being asked to work way longer than the maximum 8 hours per day or 30 hours per week limit, for example, if the schedule is not being followed at all, or if there's particularly if there's any kind of abuse at all, if you're being abused in any way, first of all, definitely contact the agency and report it. We will investigate and make sure that all sides of the story are heard. And secondly, there is an au pair abuse hotline to be aware of, and we're definitely also going to put the phone number for that in the comments. So that is a direct line that you can report serious cases to. The police can be notified and your case will be taken seriously.
Yeah. That hotline is for all agencies, so it's not a Sunshine au pair phone number. It is from the IND, right?
Yes, yeah. So every au pair in the Netherlands can use that line, that number, to get help if it's really needed. So yeah, definitely don't suffer alone. If something serious is happening to you, it shouldn't be the case. You should be being treated well, with respect, as an equal in the household, and certainly not abused in any way. So in summary, we would just say, to avoid problems of any kind, it's best to always stick to the official channels when you're going to become an au pair. Know the program rules, make sure the program rules are followed, because they're there to protect you.
Yeah, take care of yourself and good luck with your au pair journey.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Next time. Bye.